What's up, everybody? This is the Pop Geek Podcast number 20, first one of the new year. And today we're going to be talking about a little bit of news at the top of the show. We're going to talk about Activision buying the MLG. We're also going to talk about video games, the best ones we've played, the best ones we're looking forward to, all that fun stuff in the new year. And I think that's about it. We're going to keep it short, pretty sweet.
Yeah, really like a 5-minute show, guys.
So nothing really happened in the last 2 weeks.
Oh, wait, didn't some movie come out?
There's a movie?
I think so, right?
Did they?
Of course we're going to talk about Star Wars. Like we needed to belabor that. I don't think we've had an episode in the last 2 months that didn't have Star Wars in it. We all saw it. So excited.
Yes.
It was amazing. I got to see it on Thursday. And I didn't know what to do with it because I was like, I can't talk to anyone about this.
Right, that was my problem too.
That was the worst thing.
Stay away from everybody about spoilers.
I'm in the theater tweeting, and I'm like, I can't tell anyone what I'm about to see. I took a picture with my glasses on, and that was it. And I'm like, then I walked out, and I was excited. I could talk to my wife. And that's the only person I could talk to. And then I was just waiting for other people to call me and go, "Did you see Star Wars?" I'm like, "Yeah, I saw Star Wars."
If for some reason you live under a rock and you haven't seen it, if you're going to see it in 3D.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Fucking awesome.
And the other thing, we'll warn you before we do it, the whole second half of the show, we're going to do all Star Wars.
We'll talk about the records it's broken.
Yeah.
It's projected to be the best-selling movie of all time.
Yeah.
So we'll get to that in the second half.
So we're going to talk that. In the second half, too, we got the screenplay notes. These were released on IGN and probably a bunch of other places. So I took all the notes on that. We'll go over that. That'll be full spoilers. So if you haven't seen it for some reason, just don't watch the second half of the show. But thanks for the click. We're also going to talk about Rogue One, which will be coming up in the next year. But right off the bat, so we're going to talk a little bit of news. Activision Blizzard has bought the MLG. Now, this, on its front, doesn't sound like that big of a story, because no one knows what the MLG is, really.
Yeah,
unless you're a big League of Legends fan.
Did they buy, the sport? Did they buy the brand? It's kind of confusing, the wording.
It's kind of like if someone came in and bought the NFL. If there was one overarching company that could buy all the rights to the NFL or the NBA or something like that. So Activision then becomes the largest shareholder, and therefore all the rights and profits and all of the things that are planned are now going to go through Blizzard Activision, which is kind of bizarre because this is a developer of video games, is now taking over the Major League Gaming. Now all these games, for the most part, that are in this roster, they're a little bit varied. A lot of them, I don't know the developers' names, but they're all available through Steam, and most of them are free. Mm-hmm. Dota's free, League of Legends is free, and Counter-Strike are free. And Counter-Strike's major tournament is, I believe, this month or next month, and it's a big deal. There's a lot of money on the line, and then it makes you start to wonder, what is Activision doing with this? Activision has a game coming out called Overwatch that is a multiplayer, competitive style PvP game with no storyline. So you assume this is kind of what they're doing, but why would you do this for one game?
I wonder if because they bought the license or the brand that they can now start marketing their games as official Major League Gaming game. You know how they have certain controllers for or certain products for that sport. I wonder if they're gonna start doing that with their games. That way they can only license their games as we're the Major League Gaming game.
Well, and we saw this a little bit. They just bought. Who did they just buy? Blizzard Activision just bought somebody. The mobile player, King. They bought King Games.
Yeah,
that's right.
And now they make this purchase.
Can you imagine Major League Gaming Candy Crush?
Yeah, Candy Crush, super fast. People are amazing at it, But buying this and then this is part of the consolidation we were kind of talking about when we did that episode, which is these bigger companies are going to start buying each other out, and these little guys are going to get snatched up, and because they have products that make money. So, I wouldn't be surprised if you see them make a move on League of Legends, or you see them make a move on whoever created Dota.
Yeah, and it could be, too, that they just want to get their piece of the pie,
Yeah,
and
they want to get their hands in it.
Just to get their hands in it and just collect all that money, because it's moving really quick.
You know what I didn't think of either? Heroes of the Storm is basically League of Legends.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That could be nasty.
Now, how much would you spend for Major League Gaming?
It's got to be in the millions.
I was thinking like $10. Yeah.
It's good, $10.
Yeah, I don't have millions of dollars.
Yeah, because I mean, the hard part is like, it has the deal with TBS. There's going to be a show in the works for this.
That'd be kind of fun to watch.
And now they're going to hang the Blizzard Activision name on it. Yeah. So it's going to be MLG, brought to you by Blizzard Activision. By the way, play World of Warcraft, and we have a World of Warcraft movie coming out, and all this other stuff that they're going to do. So, I don't know. Do you have the number in front of you? What is it?
$46 million.
$46 million?
Yeah. I thought it would have been higher.
I would have thought that would have been higher, too, because I was thinking, like, startup money. You know, like, we see those guys go for $1 billion
at
for
least
some
$47 million. That way Ren can chime in. $47 million!
Right.
Man, also speaking about that, like, this is going to be very interesting. We've all noticed that Major League Gaming just keeps going up and up and up in the ranks and the stories and in the news everywhere. It's like it's growing so fast.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what comes up next year and then 5 years from now, I'm sure. Like you said, with the TV deal coming out, even Microsoft is building controllers now that are specifically designed for competitive gaming. Like it's
the other thing on top of that too, and this is not going to be a game changer, but hopefully is the wave of the future. And I think the big one that could be for this is Smash Brothers.
Yes.
Is once that completely opens up, because it made the move, it's going to have Cloud now, is going to be brought over to Super Smash. PCs are going to start being able to talk to Xboxes.
Yeah.
Because with Windows 10, all of this is going to happen. Now, if we could just get PlayStation on board, which I don't know if they'll ever do that, but how great would it be to play massively multiplayer literally against everyone?
Yeah.
Because I don't like that it's exclusive, like everyone's playing on their own platforms, and if you got a friend who's got a PlayStation like we do, and you can't play with us, and he just bought Destiny.
Everybody's got their own preferences, and
Yeah. But I mean, it'd be great to use your own controller and use your own system and jump on and play with your friends and do a raid in Destiny, or play Halo with your buddy who has a PlayStation or whatever,
Yeah, like if you want to keep the competitive mode exclusive to just your platform, because that way everyone's on the same controller, same system, whatever, that's fine.
Well, typically competitive is done PC.
Right, exactly. But like what you're saying, like if we do a raid or like a PvE experience, why can't we join in with our PlayStation buddy or Windows person? It's like
if the game's the same, and it's not exclusive content. I mean, you could do what you can do. Like
you're using Uncharted the same internet, why not?
Yeah, it's all the same. So I wonder if that's going to be way down the line.
Yeah,
and that's also once they give up these rights, because they always do this. They're going to hang on to it and hang on to it and hang on to it until everyone is screaming for it, and then they'll be like, "Hey, look how great we are! We just gave this to you." So, but that's going to be kind of interesting. And so while we're still talking about games, let's get into what was your game of the year. Like, not necessarily the best game. Like, I played Fallout 4 for 20 minutes. I think you played it a little bit.
Yeah.
Just like I played Destiny most of the time.
Yeah, I did. Xbox came out with a thing you can do on their website where it's like your year in review, and it would bring out all the games you played, all the achievements you did, and how many hours you played. It's kind of scary. I don't want to reveal my stats, but
I think I told you, like I 100%ed Battletoads Arcade with my son. Which, by the way, that game is dirty.
Yeah, it is.
Like you grab dudes by the balls and punch them in the balls. Like I didn't know that about.
It was before its time.
Yeah.
But
ahead of its time.
Yeah, so like the game I played the most obviously was Destiny. I played a crap ton of Destiny. But the game I was impressed with and really happy with this year was Batman Arkham Knight. Yeah. It was a great way to end the trilogy for Rocksteady Games. Mm-hmm. It was the fighting mechanic was polished. All the gadgets were great. Yeah. You were able to drive around in the Batmobile. You got the huge scope of Gotham City, which was amazing to fly and glide around in. It was just an overall fun game. The story was great. The voice acting was great. I'm glad Mark Hamill and Kevin Conroy came back to reprise their roles again. Yeah. It was just a really fun game. And I had bought the DLC. I bought everything for it. Yeah. I played it all. I've 200%ed the whole game. This is the first game I ever 200%ed where I...
But there is some frustration with that game because of the DLC stuff. That was the main one, I believe, on the front lines of DLC madness, where people were like, why am I paying for skin? Or why am I paying for this little bitty upgrade?
And it was so expensive, because I think when I bought it, it was like $50 for the season pass.
Oh, really?
I think total the game cost me like $100.
Jeez.
Yeah, around there. But, I mean, overall, it came out with a lot of stuff. I played a lot of it. I enjoyed it, which is the most important thing about a video game. So, I'm happy with that game. I think it's probably my favorite game of the year.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I spent $60 on GTA 2 years ago, and I've never spent another dime on it, and they keep giving us free upgrades.
I know, that's the beauty of the outlier right there.
I don't understand that, man. It's great, though.
Maybe Rockstar just makes that much money.
Well, how much do
because they're just like, hey, here you go, here's a brand new, entire new package in the game, and it's free.
Well, GTA sold, like, I mean, it broke records.
It
sold
it's epic.
They've made like $2 billion off that game, so
yeah. So maybe that's how it works.
But like you said, like every other month I see a new update for free content, free modes, free skins, free cars. I'm like, how do they keep doing this? It's amazing.
Well, I mean, there is an option to buy stuff in there. Like, I mean, you can buy cash in the game and like just pay Rockstar for
a couple of
bucks, you want. Yeah, if you want like to have, $10 million to buy a yacht or something, then. And you don't want to actually like work for it in the game, then you can spend $100 and get whatever.
There is something similar. I mean, Destiny moved to that with the microtransaction, but they don't have that option where you can. Well, they have the option to buy stuff, which is their fake silver money.
Yeah, but a lot of that is just emotes and
but I can't actually earn that money.
No,
you know what I'm saying? I can't go run a mission and get 2 pieces of silver so I can buy an emote. You just can't. You have to pay real money for it. But yeah, for me, I play Destiny more than anything else. But I was a huge fan of Battlefront, and I know it's not very popular when it came out. It's getting more popular, and this is something we're seeing too with these incomplete games coming out. I mean, GTA 5 was just. That thing was rock solid to start with, and it just keeps getting better. Like, Battlefront was like, here's a skeleton of a game, and with a bunch of shit nobody's going to use, and then, all right, now we're going to fix it a little bit, and then we're going to fix it a little bit. And so far, they haven't charged yet, have they? Because the Joku map was free.
Joku map was free, yeah.
So, now you get the cool adventure of being in the new movies.
Yep.
And that's awesome. And I wonder how far it could go. Because, like, literally, there's almost an infinite top end to this game.
Yeah.
Like, how long before I get to play as Rey? How long before I get to play as Finn? And then do X-Wing battles as Poe. And you can have, I mean, this could literally expand out for God knows how far.
That'd be fun to get.
I gotta say that the graphics in Battlefront are friggin' incredible.
It's one of the most gorgeous games I've ever seen. Like, the maps are just... that's amazing.
Like, and I love how everything is of the Star Wars universe. The sound effects, the sparks, like they look just like the movie.
Yeah.
And going back to what you were saying about how it was kind of like a rocky start to begin with, same thing with me. Like I rented it because I was like, I'm not gonna purchase the whole.
I'm kind of glad I rented it and didn't purchase it outright to start. Yeah.
But now that I play it and we jump in now, and it's just one of those type of games you can just jump in with your friends and just BS while you're playing. It's not very intense like Destiny raids where you're like, okay, you got to be right there specifically 42 seconds, then shoot that guy at 52 seconds. It's just you jump in, you play, you die, you're like, oh, whatever, I'll keep playing.
Hey, the Rebels won, Rebels lost, whatever. Because that was great. You called me one day or you sent me a text and like, hey, jump on Battlefront. We got a couple guys, we're just running around taking down AT-ATs. And then the other end of it for me is with my son getting, like, he only plays the missions. I don't really want him running around playing multiplayer. But also the insanity of multiplayer, the 20 on 20, I don't see why he couldn't.
Right.
He doesn't get to be Darth Vader.
Right, yeah.
Which, I mean, he's never going to unlock that. But, like, when he does the missions, he does the hero missions. He gets to run around as the Emperor, which is his favorite thing, which is a little scary. Like, I don't know why he's that into the Emperor. He likes the electricity hands. Yeah.
Yeah, so because
the dark side is strong with him.
Yeah, apparently, yeah.
But because it's so much fun, we can just jump in and out. And I was like, I'm gonna buy the season pass and probably buy the game now.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm actually interested in it now. I'm probably gonna purchase it and then get season pass because who knows what else it could.
Now you tried to buy the game a couple of times this season. What happened?
Yeah, like I had 2 near misses with the games. Like Eric hits me up. He goes, "Hey man, it's on sale right now. You can get the deluxe edition for $46
it was
on
really cheap.
Xbox." And I'm like, cool. I went into Xbox, looked at it. I'm like, you know what? I got a lot of Christmas presents still to buy. I didn't want to make sure I got room on the credit card. So I'm like, I'll hold off a day or 2. Came back 2 days later and it's gone. It's not gone. It's $69.99.
It went back to original price.
It went back to $70. So I'm like, all right, well, screw that. Let me go online and see if I can find it. So I went to Amazon. And Amazon, it was $70. And the download code's even more on Amazon.
Yeah,
that is really annoying. And so then I'm like, all right, well, screw that. Let me just try GameStop. And I go to GameStop and it's $46 if you buy it, if you ship to store or whatever it is, like you pick it up in store. So I'm like, hell yeah. I'm like, I forget why it was 9:30. So I'm about ready to go to work. So I go to work. I'm like, shit, I'll just buy it on my phone when I get to work. I go to work, literally open my phone to the exact same page. It's $69.99 again. I can't believe I missed that stupid game twice. Yeah, and now I'm like watching for it all the time. Like I check Xbox constantly to.
Yeah, it'll go on sale again, and once it does, I'm gonna buy it too. Yeah. And I'm pretty much gonna buy the one that comes with the season pass because you save like $5, but right. At least I get it all in one big package. And
to kind of wrap up the first half of our show, what are you looking forward to this year? There's a bunch of good games coming out. There are a ton. And we literally have just had the year of the first person shooter. Yeah. Like all the mega games that came out this year were all pretty much first person.
Yeah, it seems like next year is going to be a lot of platformers like Yooka-Laylee, that's a reminiscence of Banjo-Kazooie. You got Mighty Number 9 that's like Mega Man. Yep. You got a bunch of Final Fantasies coming back now.
Yeah, Final Fantasy. How many more Final Fantasies can they issue? They're just going to keep reissuing and redoing them. But this one is an actual new one with the updated fight style where you actually get to swing a sword when you want to.
Yeah, I might get into it now because of that because they can't do the whole
I've heard a lot of people say, hey, I've never been able to get into them, and now I want to try this one.
But the game I'm most excited for, and I just can't wait because I'm such a fan of the lore, Mass Effect Andromeda. Yeah. I love the Mass Effect franchise. Like, I played through all 3 games multiple times, choosing different paths, different dialogue, just to see
dirty
everything.
Sex with all the characters.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, okay, this week I want to be with her. This week I want to be with him. I wonder what that would look like.
There you go.
And so to have it continue on with a new story, new characters, I think would be just amazing. And with the new graphic engines, with the new consoles.
Sure.
Oh, I can't wait because it already looked so good back on the 360 days.
Yeah.
And also the PlayStation 3 days. Like I can't wait. I just can't wait.
Yeah. That one's going to be fun. I know Deus Ex is coming out.
That looks good, too.
Crackdown has my interest, depending on if they make that server thing work. Because that could be like the future of gameplay.
I really hope that
is if that thing works and it's not glitchy and it's not, like if the building doesn't really fall down or, whatever happens. Because we've all had lag problems. We jump into some game and you're lagging or someone else is lagging and it just screws everything up. So you're kind of putting this in their hands to do all the processing. But yeah, that's definitely one I'm into. The one I keep seeing online and I wanted to try it is called Super Hot. It is the weirdest looking shooter I've ever seen where all of your characters are bright red and you're in this super white futuristic world. And it just looks like a lot of fun. They were running the beta on Twitch for a while. I don't know if it's still up there, but there's trailers for it online if you want to check that out. And I do want to try Overwatch. The more I learn about it, the more interested I am in it, but also it seems a little more strategic than I'm prepared for. It's not a straight PvP, blow people away and teabag them. So,
whatever you're into, man.
Yeah, people do it to me all the time. I die in Crucible more than anybody in the world. So
it's all fun though.
Yeah. All right. So let's turn it over to Star Wars talk now. We're gonna drop a graphic in for that.
And just like that.
Oh, yeah! You know what time it is. I'm going to dork out about Star Wars now.
I'm screwed because I don't have one.
Sorry.
There we go.
Anyway,
dead man.
So now we're going to talk about Star Wars. First off, we'll start with the stats. We're not going to ruin anything just yet. But Eric's got all the stats.
The stats already are just freaking amazing.
Crazy what this movie's doing.
So far, this is going to be the most most grossing movie ever.
It just passed Titanic, I believe, today.
Yes, it did. It's ranked number. It's currently in rank number 2, on track to beat Avatar's record of all-time grossing movie. Yeah. It has 686 million currently, and James Cameron's Avatar is at 760 million for the most sales. So
it's no longer earning money.
Yeah, and it still hasn't been released in China yet.
Yeah,
and it's been out for what, 2 weeks now?
I believe. Yes, it came out on the 18th.
Yeah, so I mean, in 2 weeks, it's almost caught up to Avatar.
Right, and then I believe in 2 weeks, it goes to China. I think it's like the 16th or 19th, maybe, something like that.
But currently, it's earned $544.6 million domestically and $1.09 billion worldwide so far.
That's amazing.
It's ridiculous. And it's broken all kinds of records. It's broken the biggest Christmas Day sale of all time with $49.3 million just on that day. Yeah. Which also surpassed The Dark Knight by $25 million on that day. Right. it was the fastest movie to 500 million in only 10 days, as opposed to Jurassic Park's 17 days. So there's another record there.
So Jurassic Park was hanging on to one record. I forget which one it was.
Well, there was that one, the fastest to 500 million. And I think another one it broke right now. The most earned in a weekend. Currently, it was Jurassic Park's held the record at 208.8 million. Mm-hmm. The Forest just blew it out of the water and surpassed it by $57 million, and now made $248 million in one weekend.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Mm-hmm. And I believe it has the IMAX record too, right?
Yep. Oh, it has tons of IMAX records. There's, it has 2 records for both domestic and global. It earned $30.1 million domestically and $48 million globally.
Wow.
And in 12 days, grossed $106 million, shattering the previous record of 18 days by Jurassic World to reach $100 million.
Well, and you got to remember, there's like not even a quarter of IMAX, compared to standard theater. I saw it in IMAX 3D, but my wife apparently read the seating chart wrong. Cause, I was there the 18th at like 8:00. That's when we had our tickets, and she thought row C was like the top, like you were going A, B, C.
Oh, no.
Row C was third row. And so we were like looking straight up at the movie with 3D glasses on.
Oh my gosh.
So it was like, there was times where like I'm like looking over here to see what Ray's doing, and then BB-8's over there, and I'm like, you literally had to shift around in your chair to see the whole damn screen. But either way, I mean, I was blown away by the film. But here's what I will say. So we're gonna get into spoilers now. You all right with that?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Sort of. Okay.
Go for it.
I won't hit them off the top, but if you want to turn it off now, that would be the time.
Warning. The following content contains spoilers.
Right. So
you've been notified.
When I sat down in the theater, like when I saw the trailer, I like literally got emotional.
Oh yeah.
And then when I was in the theater, I wasn't at all. And then even when I walked out, it was not necessarily, oh my God, this is a good movie or a great movie or anything like that. It was, they didn't fuck it up. That was my main thought in my head, was like, afterwards I was able to appreciate it like as a film, but it was like tightrope walking throughout the movie. I was like literally nervous for the film.
You're waiting for that one scene, one Jar Jar character.
I wanted Jar Jar to come out, and then I was just gonna like lose it. But it was great. Like again, it was it doesn't blow you away from a film standpoint.
No, yeah.
It's just good. Mm-hmm. And that's all you could have really asked for to reset what we're doing. It introduced a bunch of new characters that are all super good and likable.
Yeah.
And it gives you Kylo Ren, who is by far the most interesting character I've seen in the Star Wars franchise.
And also surprisingly likable.
Yeah, he was surprisingly likable too.
I love his little temper tantrums that you were in the scene.
Yes.
But he's such an interesting character too, because he wants to be in the dark side. He's not tricked or forced into it or like consumed by it. He wants to be bad, but he has good in him. So it's like, wow, to have a character who actively wants to be part of the dark side but is having trouble getting there.
That it changes the entire angle of the stories prior to this.
Yeah.
Because
and how badass was it that he just like stops a bolt blaster? It's like
it's like that was so cool, and you just see it just sitting there.
Yeah.
And then he gets on the ship and it just
goes. Yeah, that was awesome. That was a great addition to the film, because you always kind of thought that. Because Vader does that at one point where he stops. He kind of deflects it. Yeah. And you're like, what if you did stop it? What would it look like in the air? Mm-hmm. And that was cool. That's actually what I didn't know going into it. I had all of these like, he's going to be like this, and he's going to be like this, and these characters are going to be like this. I was completely wrong on pretty much everything. Like, I didn't know he was going to be like a Sith.
Yeah.
Like, I knew he's a wannabe, but I'm like, okay, maybe he has a lightsaber, but he doesn't have the Force. You know, he can't do that. No, he can do everything, and actually a little bit more than I ever saw Darth Vader do, or Darth Maul, or Darth anybody. And he can read your mind. He can do all this like crazy stuff, and like and then he's also this massively conflicted character who he was such a fun, interesting add to the thing. He's not going to die. A lot of people, I think, assumed he might be a Darth Maul character, to where Maul comes in, oh my God, he's so cool, dead. Like, was he going to come back? Like,
no, I see him.
He's the only good part of the first movie. I mean, the pod race was okay, but
no,
like,
I actually think
Darth Maul was amazing.
Yeah, Darth Maul. I hope they bring him back, which I think they can. We'll get into about theories in a second here, but I think they're gonna keep Snoke and Kylo Ren throughout the whole trilogy, which I think would be smart since they kept the heroes from all three throughout 3 movies in the previous trilogies. They should do the same thing with the Sith because they said, like they said, there's always 2, and it's kind of weird that one will die and then another one just kind of pops up out of nowhere.
Yeah, and actually there's some of that too. I'll get into, like when we said we'll talk theories a little bit, and there's some of that stuff that was released in the script because the script was just released for consideration for the Academy Awards. I don't expect it to win anything. Because making money doesn't mean you win awards, and like award shows are typically pretty snobby about that type of stuff.
Yeah.
But the one weird thing,
go to some chick flick.
Yeah, The Notebook 2. No, but like, there's no Darth characters. You notice that?
Yeah.
Like, Snoke is Supreme Leader Snoke.
Right.
Which we all assume is Darth Plagueis.
Yeah.
But we don't know. Kylo Ren is not Darth Ren or Darth Kylo or Darth whatever.
He doesn't even have a legitimate lightsaber. Like, you see his lightsaber kind of pieced together from what he could gather.
Yeah. And see, and I wondered about that too, because I thought, well, maybe he has the broken version of Darth Vader's lightsaber because he kind of worships Vader. But the stuff I've read online and things like that is no, he actually put it together with a split crystal, and those are exhaust ports.
Yeah.
It's a broken saber. It still gets the job done.
It was pretty cool to see him use that exhaust port as a piercer when they're just kind of struggling to fight. I was like, cool, okay, yeah, it's still functional if he wants to use it.
That was amazing. I thought it was weird they didn't go with the Darth, but that also could be that weird like legacy thing they're doing with him, where they don't want to make him a full Sith. He's got good in him.
Yeah,
but he's apparently the best you have. There's also was a rumor that one of the good characters will be bad before this is over.
That's cool.
That Snoke will either turn someone, or Snoke will go away and Ren will take someone, and it might be Poe or Finn. It probably won't be Rey.
Good theory.
But yeah, that's again, this is theories. So who knows? The other thing I want to cover before we get into like the really messed up part of Ren is like, why is Captain Phasma in this movie?
Yeah, they
cast this like actress from Game of Thrones. They put her in the suit, and she's got like 3 lines in the whole damn film. And I assume she's going to be in the other movies in a larger role.
I would hope so.
But also, there's not a lot of room for her.
Yeah, unless she becomes the new Boba Fett and like goes
something like that.
Yeah, I would think so. Like now that from Finn throwing her into the trash compactor and all that stuff, like maybe she has a vendetta against Finn.
But they never show the end sequence to that.
No, they didn't.
He wanted to do it, and I don't know if they ever did it. He's like, yeah, let's throw her in a trash compactor, and it's like, cut.
It might be assumed that they did it because they didn't want to spend so much time. Like, oh, we just got to show her throwing her down the chute or something.
Kill her off, I don't think.
No. But like I can see her like coming out of it, and now her like mask is all messed up. So we see her face now, and so now she has a vendetta against Finn. Like, I'm gonna hunt him down and kill him, or whatever.
Yeah.
So now you see Finn and Chewbacca flying around the galaxy trying to run from her.
And that's the role I see Finn filling more.
Totally.
Is the Han Solo role.
Yeah, totally.
Even though Rey flies the Falcon, and there's that weird combination of her and Han. And there's also the rumors about her and Han as far as relation. Because I have one friend, dead set. She's like, no, Kylo Ren and Rey are brother and sister.
And
I don't think that's true.
I don't think so either. Yeah. I don't think so. I think
there's something there.
Yeah.
Because he clearly recognizes her in a way that no one else does. But at the same time, I don't think that you can go back to that. You can't go Leia and Luke on this.
No.
I personally want to believe that she's Luke's daughter.
I think so too, and here's what we'll do. I'll talk some of the other theories too, which is when the script came out, there's a name to the islands that they're on when she sees Luke at the very end.
Where the first Jedi Temple is supposedly, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's wherever Luke is. Actually, the original Jedi Temple was then built upon by the Empire. He built his thing where the Emperor is in the original series of films is supposedly on the ruins of the Jedi Temple that he destroyed.
You gotta love that long, awkward stare.
Yeah, that stare was it was 2 shots too long, man. It was like the first one you're like, yeah, he's back, and it's like, Why did they go back to that shot? Why is he still staring at me?
Why isn't he saying anything?
Say something, or the music is swelled. We're over. Like, oh yeah, that shot was so
this is
up.
built up to this.
And here it is, twice.
This is yeah.
So, but that makes me wonder, because we all saw that leaked footage of him in like a motion capture or something like. Yeah. Where was that scene? That couldn't have been for that island scene, could it?
No, he was there.
He was
lying. The locations are in Ireland because they've said that they've been shooting in Ireland.
Yeah, so I wonder what that was for.
Well,
I don't know.
Remember when they were filming? Like Mark Hamill himself said that even he didn't know what his role was supposed to be in the movie, and like he was just kind of sitting and waiting.
Sure. What I can tell you from the screenplay notes that have been released, Luke is on. The name of the planet is, I'm going to probably say this wrong, is Achu. Or Achu 2. Achu 2. Or it's ACHCH-TO, which is actually a Hebrew word for brother. So that could be something. Hebrew, but again, I don't see how Rey could be brother-sister with him.
No, yeah, I see it more as like...
because Darth Vader, once he was in the suit, is not having any more children.
No. But like, I can see how she could be Luke's daughter, but she could be maybe like, say, 5 years younger than Kylo Ren or Ben Ren.
Yeah.
Or what is that? Ben Solo, sorry.
Ben Solo, yeah.
And so like, they grew up as almost brothers and sisters because they're so close with their parents.
Yeah.
And then that way when Kylo Ren goes and kills the whole Jedi Order, and she's still like really young, that can't probably remember all that or remember who he is, but he remembers her.
Yeah.
That's why they sent her off to hide her from Kylo Ren.
To hide her from him. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what I would like to see.
That could be. To that end, there was also in that script is she is given to Unbar Plute, who is the fat, ugly monster that gives her food. You know what I'm talking about?
She's given to him?
Yes.
Oh.
That's his hand on her arm, is what it says in the script. That's Simon Pegg's character. Again, there's so much in this movie to where Phasma is a real actress that no one gets to see and has 3 lines. The opening sequence with Max von Sydow as a kind of Jedi guy who has almost no screen time but dies right away. So you have to assume these characters are going to come back in some sort of way. Why would you cast a real big-time actor to take a small role like this? So there's probably going to be some sort of flashback or something to do with him, like, because he's apparently some sort of Force user. Or there's also the whether or not they're going to cross some of the Star Wars Rebels stuff in there, which is like Kanan is a half-trained Jedi.
Yeah.
So at the time of the Order 86 or whatever, there was probably a bunch of Jedis out doing other stuff that were like maybe not trained fully, or maybe just weren't there at the time, so that there is Force users out in the galaxy.
Right, and that's what they're referred to as Force users, not so much Jedis.
Yeah, there's also that too that I guess played in the comic, which was there's actually like witches and things like that interact with the Force to manipulate things. So I don't know if they'll ever get into that. The other stuff from the script is... Oh, wait. You know what? We'll do this. Like you were saying about Kylo Ren and Rey, there's a theory online that somebody posted to their Tumblr where their dad just like went off in the car.
I showed you that.
Yeah, you showed me that. And he tells you this entire story of like, what does he think Kylo Ren is? Now, I think it makes sense from the perspective of he wants to be evil and therefore is trying to bring balance to the Force. Because that's always been the misconception about this, is they found Anakin and they go, oh, look how powerful this child's going to be. He'll bring balance to the Force. Yeah, the Jedis were in power.
Yeah.
He's going to wipe you all out. That's how you level the playing field. Mm-hmm. So if Ren is there to bring balance, he's going to be as bad as he possibly can, but you have to have the coexistence of both sides at an equal level.
Right.
Is what it is. But then there's also... I don't think you kill your dad just to be bad.
No.
That's kind of too far. You know, I mean, again...
Well, he had to become a Sith or whatever.
Well, he still doesn't become a Sith. He's Kylo Ren and he gets chopped up at the end. Because Rey just fucking destroys him in that fight.
Yeah.
That's the other weird thing, too, is like she's already got the upper hand. It's just
she has
better
no training and has just like this natural ability to kick ass.
And that makes me wonder, too, about, this is more my theory, is that she might be one of the Force beings. Like the Anakin's weird immaculate conception in the first one, where his midichlorians or whatever the fuck.
Right.
He just her mother gave birth.
Oh, she
to him.
absolutely has the Force.
Oh yeah, no, she does because they established that right when Ren can't read her mind, and then he leaves her, and then she does the Force suggestion to Daniel Craig, believe it or not, who's his cameo.
The guard.
Is the guard who comes in and lets her go and drops his gun.
That's so cool.
It takes her a couple of tries, though.
It does, yeah, that's right. But she's so smooth into it. It's not like the way even Luke transitioned into it, where Luke had to like learn each step, you know.
And at the same time, too, Luke like took years to develop his skills, where she did it in like a day.
Yeah. Well, and then also, you know, in that fight scene at the end, when she, you know, has grabs the lightsaber using the Force when Kylo Ren's trying to get it, and she gets it because she has, you know, a more powerful.
But that's also that push pull with Ren too. Is he's always going to be limited by the fact that he's partially good.
Yeah.
So there's that. On top of that too, there's a line in the script where Luke, when he sees her and she's there, knows exactly who she is and why she's there.
Right.
So he knows exactly what the things are about to play out. That's another thing too, is like Yoda had that power as well. Is Yoda always knew exactly what was going to happen. He knew he was going to die and everything. That's probably what's going to happen to Luke, by the way. He's probably going to die in the next film, would be my guess.
Yeah, probably.
Or the third film.
But, you know,
he'll
only become more powerful in death.
Maybe they wouldn't do that.
See,
because if you kill a guy every movie, that's
I was just about to say, repetitive. You know, the first one was Han, second one will be Luke, third one will be Leia.
Yeah, and actually that's another thing too. Like I wanted to say too, like her being a fucking crazy person did not come across on film. She was great in that movie. Yeah. I believed every minute of her. And then I saw her on a red carpet sticking fingers in people's mouths with like frosting on her face. Like, I'm like, all right, this is Princess Leia, everybody. Here we go.
But man, in the movie, she was Princess Leia.
And her role is going to be huge in this story because, like, again, she's like that outsider weird Force. Like, she could feel the Force, knows Force stuff, not a Jedi.
Which is amazing, too. I wonder if they were going to...
That also makes you wonder about the thing with her saying goodbye to Han.
Yeah.
If she knew he was going to die.
Right, exactly. That's what I was going to bring up. Like,
when she sent Rey off, there's that weird thing with her and Rey. Yeah. It's like... She knows that this is going to set into motion something larger.
Yeah, I wonder if she uses her Force abilities to be a better general. Like, if she can foresee attacks or foresee plans. Yeah. So, like, she can manipulate and strategize or coordinate their strikes.
Yeah, you know? That could be, too. There's a couple more things, which is... there's a part, I guess, in the script. Again, if it's in the script and not in the film, I don't know if it technically exists then. But there's apparently a line where Snoke is warning Kylo Ren that the love for his father is in a way forces his hand because he doesn't want to be like Vader because Vader loved his son, which was ultimately his downfall. So by him killing his own father, he is then trying to make that step beyond into the full darkness of that. There's also, apparently, I didn't notice this, maybe I need to watch the movie one more time, is that they say Rey is even metaphorically on a cliff at one point where she's up and, you know, because the world is like collapsing as they're having that final fight. And she said that there's a pull from the dark side to kill Kylo Ren right there. Mm-hmm. And they said that there's supposed to be a disembodied voice of Snoke telling her to do it. That would be that pull
to try and turn
because
her.
They always do that too. The Sith will do that all the time. Is they see the more powerful guy, they say, kill his ass once you come work with me.
Take his place, I want to say...
Because even the Emperor does it. He tells him to kill Vader and come take his hand by my side.
There was that scene, and you could tell in her emotions that she wanted to kill him, and you could see she was struggling to stop, but I don't remember hearing a voice.
I don't either. So, I mean, if that was in the script and then chosen not to do...
Yeah, or maybe it was like in the script that subliminal monologue in her head that she's supposed to think that.
Or she was just supposed to think that. Because you do see, there's a couple of those shots, like the stuff with Leia too, which is like you see this reservation between what she's going to say and what she can't say, probably.
Yeah. I don't see Rey going to the dark side. I don't see 1 ounce of fear in her at all.
No, I think she's all good all the way. Yeah. But that's what makes her dangerous then too. Yeah. Is if you then end up with the imbalance again, then it goes back the other way. But like with Snoke is going to be an interesting character because I like too that he's a hologram because he's like, now. Oh, he's 25 feet tall, and then he like shimmers away, and you're like, he could be the size of an ant with a cool hologram projector.
Let's talk about his theory for a little bit because I really want this to happen. Like the theory right now is that he's Darth Plagueis, resurrected from the dead. He resurrected himself supposedly from his battle with, or not battle, but from the assassination from Palpatine, or Darth Sidious. And that he's been taking this time to recuperate, and that's why he's still kind of decaying a little bit.
Yeah,
or looks kind of.
He's like post-death.
Yeah, which I think would be freaking awesome. Yeah. Like if he's able to create and bring back people from the dead, could you imagine if he brought back Han Solo in like an evil form?
Yeah, or bring back past Sith Lords.
Darth Maul.
Yeah, bring back Darth Maul. There we go.
There you go. That's how you bring back Darth Maul.
Yeah, I mean he is super deep and weird, and they're pretty much free to do whatever they want with him. To be honest, because they've thrown out all the books. There's a bunch of book backstory on that guy, but there's not a lot of. There's almost zero film stuff except for when Sidious is explaining to Anakin, hey, there was this other guy who actually, when he first told that story, I thought he was talking about himself. But essentially what he was doing is just selling Anakin on, hey, you want to bring your mom back from the dead? Maybe you can do it this way or whatever, you know?
Right, exactly. There's so much manipulation with the dark side about power and emotions that I could see it easily going that way.
Yeah. And plus, like, we're talking about possibly losing, having Luke die. It would be the same as the Obi-Wan thing, but like Obi-Wan died on purpose in full view of him in order to progress that story. I don't see that happening again. No. That would be really derivative. The other positive is J.J. Abrams says he wishes he's directed the second film. And the second film will probably be better because it's the natural progression of Star Wars. The one other thing I'll throw in there that I just didn't get an answer to that I wanted to is why does he have a red arm, C-3PO? They're like, oh, I bet you wonder why I have a red arm. And then cut. I know you put it in the comic book. I don't want to read the comic book. I want you to tell me when I went and paid to see the damn movie. But yeah, that was the one other theory I want to.
I'm sure that an explanation will come up.
Yeah, I think it's online because it's people know it, and it was in a comic. They did the C-3PO comic, which came out right before the film. Yeah, and from what I understand, it's someone sacrificed themselves for him, and he wears the red arm as a tribute.
Oh,
I don't know if it was another protocol droid. They're not typically the most brave, so I don't know how that would happen, but I don't know.
Well, and another thing, R2-D2, like for most of the film, he's like just kind of off.
Yeah, he's turned off.
and then all of a sudden he's like, wait a minute, I'm gonna be around again.
So okay, I think that
turn back on now.
That does it for Star Wars talk for this week. I think that's all the theories we can go through. We're going to come up with more, I'm sure, and we'll probably talk with them. We didn't get to Rogue One.
Oh yeah,
but we're way over our time at this point.
We'll give you something to look forward to.
We'll talk Rogue One.
Tune in next week.
They just dropped a teaser today. It's literally a teaser. Like, it's 10 seconds of footage, and it looks computer animated. But yeah, so follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Facebook. Instagram. And if you want to email us, popgeekpodcast@gmail.com. Yep. Other than that, we will see you next week, probably. Well, probably not next week, but whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll be posting all kinds of stuff, gameplay footage, and whatever we get our hands on. So cool. See you guys next time. Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying the show, but we'd like to hear from you. So please leave a comment below and tell us something you'd like to see on an upcoming show or your thoughts and feelings. Or you can tell us that we suck. Maybe don't do that, because we're a little fragile.